If we're talking about the worst fates in Infinity War, it's hard to beat Vision. The advanced robot not only had to be destroyed by the woman he loved, but then seconds later he was brought back to life only to be ripped apart again. Ouch. But how did things get this far? Vision is supposed to be one of the most powerful Avengers, but the MCU didn't do the best job in showcasing Vision's true strength. We never got to see him reach his full potential, and that probably hurt us more than having a Mind Stone ripped from your head. Okay, fine, that second thing is way worse, but it still hurts. Today's video is all about Vision and how we missed out on some truly awesome powers. What were they and how could they have made Vision better? Let's discuss. Vision had the makings to be the most powerful Avenger in the MCU. His body was made from vibranium and his power source was one of the Infinity Stones. You remember those, right? The 6 colorful space rocks that were said to be the most powerful things in the entire galaxy? Well, second most powerful thing next to Ant-Man's magic tricks, of course. But yeah, Vision should have been unstoppable with the vibranium and Infinity Stone combination, and he won us over immediately by doing 2 things. The first is lifting Thor's hammer like it was a paperclip, and the second is noticing how great capes look and making one for himself. Overall, Vision is a hybrid of Jarvis and Ultron, with the latter evil robot making Vision to be his perfect host body. So let me get this straight. An android made up of vibranium and an Infinity Stone who was made by a rogue AI system and can lift Thor's hammer and has the voice and knowledge of Tony Stark's personal computer still turned out poorly on the big screen? How did that happen? Seriously, if you're stopped on the street by someone who says to start naming all the Avengers in the movies, how long would it take for you to mention Vision? He'd be like 10th or 15th for me, and I'd probably only remember him after naming Scarlet Witch. So what has happened to Vision in the MCU? Well, after the Avengers nearly started a pre-Civil War with each other while debating whether to bring Vision to life, Thor did what he does best and used his hammer to strike lightning into Vision's regeneration cradle and brought the robot to life. Although he was hostile for the first few seconds, which is fair because I've acted the same way when someone wakes me up from a nap, he eventually calmed down and agreed Ultron needed to be stopped. He assisted in the Battle of Sokovia by blocking off Ultron's ability to escape into the internet and then destroyed the last host body. From there, he was an official member of the team, even though I guess he didn't go on all the missions. Tell me, why wasn't Vision on that fateful opening mission in Civil War? Was he too busy picking out a new sweater to wear? That can be a tough choice sometimes. But overall, he acted as the voice of reason. One of his best scenes ever happened in Civil War when he points out how strange it's been that since Tony Stark declared himself Iron Man in 2008, the amount of superpowered individuals appearing has increased tenfold. But the amount of potentially world-ending events has also increased along with it. He says that challenge invites conflict. Powerful words. Throughout the movie, we see his growing feelings for Wanda, and he even tries to cook for her. Of course, the two end up on opposite sides of the Civil War, and in the final battle at the airport, Vision is perhaps too emotionally compromised by Wanda being injured to see where he's shooting his deadly mind ray blasts. He accidentally clips War Machine while aiming for Sam, and it results in War Machine falling to the ground and becoming paralyzed. Tell me this, what would have happened if he hit Sam with that? He has way less armor. Although he and Wanda wind up on opposing sides of Civil War, the two still sneak away to be together from time to time. It's during one of these rendezvous that Thanos' cronies come to town looking for the Mind Stone and seriously injure Vision, making it impossible for him to phase or use a lot of his powers. His journey ends with Thanos ripping the Mind Stone from his head, turning him into a gray husk. Yeah, it's safe to say Vision hasn't had the best treatment in the MCU, which is a shame because he should be much more powerful. Because overall, Vision should have utilized a lot more powers. Fans of the comics know just how powerful Vision is, but movie fans don't have a clear sense of what he can do. They know he can fly, that he's strong, that he can shoot yellow beams from his forehead, and can phase through things. But is that all? We've seen him shapeshift a little bit to look more like Paul Bettany in an attempt to make his romantic scenes with Wanda a little less weird. But it looks like that's not really true shapeshifting, but rather just holographic manipulation. The biggest power we haven't seen Vision use is the Mind Stone. We've seen the Mind Stone in action before. When it was in Loki's scepter, Loki could use it to brainwash people. So wouldn't that mean Vision could use that ability too if he wanted? We've mostly just seen him blast these yellow beams from his forehead, which are powerful enough to destroy War Machine's suit in an instant, but that's about it. And that's a shame because the comics are completely different. In fact, I'm about to blow your mind more than Thanos blew Vision's mind. Vision doesn't have the Mind Stone in the comics. Although he does have a yellow stone in the center of his forehead, in the source material, that's actually the solar gem. It allows Vision to absorb ambient solar energy that his body is able to convert directly into usable forms. Sort of like photosynthesis in plants. That's right, in the comics, Vision is just one big houseplant. So you can look at the MCU giving Vision the Mind Stone instead of his solar gem as a clever way to continue the Infinity Saga story. Let's look at another one of his amazing abilities. In the MCU, we've seen Vision phase through objects easily. It created a great joke in Civil War when he was told to use a door instead. But the phasing aspect of Vision is only a small fraction of a much greater power. It's not that Vision just has the ability to phase through objects, but rather he can manipulate his own density. And I know, that doesn't sound as attractive as Super Soldier or Genius Billionaire Playboy Philanthropist, but density manipulation is an incredible power. He could use the ability to become even lighter than air that allows him to pass through solid matter with relative ease. Or he could do the opposite and increase his weight so he's as heavy as the Hulk after eating at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Another power that's downplayed in the movies is his relationship with technology. Sure, it might be easy to forget he's an android, but let's not forget he's a robot first and foremost. He's supposed to have these amazing technopathic abilities that allow him to have a really special relationship with technology. He speaks their language, basically. He knows how to pilot any vehicle the Avengers could ever come across, even if it's alien tech, and can hack his way into almost any weapon system or computer. Shame he's currently a big pile of scrap parts, because if he was still around when the third Spider-Man movie happened, he should have been able to deduce that Mysterio's video was obviously fake and cleared Peter's name. But there's a good chance Vision will be back by the time the third movie happens thanks to WandaVision, so I hope Peter has Vision on speed dial.
Vision residents!
Another thing about Vision is that he's practically immortal. Sure, Paul Bettany probably looks a little older than he did when he first started playing Vision, but in reality, he should look the same forever. He's an android after all. And being an android that has complete control over the cells in his body, theoretically he should be able to live forever because he can just replace all the cells in his body with new ones. He actually has to have complete awareness of what's going on inside his body, which is pretty amazing. Can you imagine if we were like that? That if we could just be standing around one day and be able to calculate that our blood pressure was too high or know that our gallbladders have developed a polyp or something? That'd be so cool. And Vision can also use this information to heal himself. He's been through the ringer quite a lot in the comics, with even She-Hulk ripping him apart at one point. But because of his unique physiology, he's able to piece himself back together every time. Someone should tell the MCU version of Vision that this is a possibility. Do you think he knows? I don't think he knows. Overall, there are just a ton of exciting abilities that Vision has that we just haven't seen yet. But could all that change in the future? Because what I'm about to say isn't that big of a secret. Vision will be coming back. Poor Paul Bettany. The dude had the easiest job in Hollywood voicing Jarvis in the Iron Man series, and then he was forced to suit up as a hero that has to undergo hours and hours and hours of makeup every day. He must have been a little relieved when he was told he wouldn't survive Infinity War. But no one has actually ever gone in the MCU. Vision will somehow be back for him to co-lead his own Disney Plus TV show. The big question is how he'll return, and if we'll get an even more powerful version of the character than ever before. Realistically, using the Mind Stone as a life force should make Vision the strongest he could possibly be. It's an Infinity Stone. What could be better? Using anything else would be like replacing the engine in my car with cotton candy. It's just not gonna run the same. But what if there was a way to bring Vision back without the Mind Stone and have him be even stronger? We know that Wanda got her powers through the Mind Stone, so she has a special connection with it. But she also has feelings for Vision. Not to get all cheesy here, but could Wanda's amazing abilities plus the power of love reforge Vision into an even better version than we've seen before? Love is the most powerful thing in the universe after all, you know, besides Ant-Man's magic tricks. So I could see this happening. But let's also not forget where Vision bit the dust. Thanos ripped out the Mind Stone in Wakanda, the most technologically advanced country in the world. He's made from vibranium, and there happens to be a whole stockpile of vibranium close by, which could be used to fix his body. And although Shuri was one of the ones dusted, she's back now. And moments before Vision was destroyed, she was working on a way to analyze his system to remove the Mind Stone without killing him. Maybe this means his mind is backed up somewhere in Shuri's system. And with some extra vibranium, she'll now be able to rebuild him even better than before. So let's hope that this time around, we actually see Vision utilize his amazing abilities. It might be tough since this is a television show instead of a movie, which means a lower budget, but I have faith that after he's brought back, Vision can rightfully take his place in the conversation as one of the strongest Avengers around.